In problem number 2, Louisa and Sierra together have 19 stamps. So the total number of stamps can't change. There's only 19 between them. Sierra is going to give 2 stamps to Louisa, and Sierra will still have one more stamp than Louisa in the end. So how many stamps does Sierra have in the beginning? Sierra has to have enough so that she can give away stamps and still end up with more than Louisa. So let's see how that could work. So if we start with Sierra having 10 and Louisa having 9, then we're going to take 2 from Sierra and add them to Louisa. And she ends up with 8. When we add them to Louisa, she ends up with 10. So instead of Sierra having one more, she ended up with 11. So instead of Sierra having one more than Louisa, she now has 3 less than Louisa. So the numbers can't be 10 and 9. We're going to have to start higher than that. So we start at 11 and 8. We take away 2 from Sierra and add them to Louisa, and we end up with Sierra having 9 and Louisa having 10. Sierra should have one more, instead she has one less. So let's kick that up again. We'll start out with Sierra having 12, Louisa having 7. Take away 2 from Sierra, add them to Louisa, and you end up with Sierra having 10, Louisa having 9, so Sierra has one more than Louisa. Now another way that you could have looked at this is that you know that in the end, Sierra, there's only 19 stamps, and in the end, Sierra has to have one more than Louisa. So you know in the end that Sierra is going to have 10 and Louisa is going to have 9. So what happened before getting there? Well, what happened before getting there is that Sierra gave away 2. So we want to take, this time we're going to take them back from Louisa and add them to Sierra. That will undo what happened in the problem. So we're starting at the end and working back from that. And that's probably the quickest way of going about this problem. Starting at the end and undoing what was done and ending up with Sierra having 12 in the beginning. So there's 2 different ways that you can go about that using guess and check, and there may be others, and any of them are fine. Using guess and check, using the algebraic method, we start out with L plus S is 19. Another way we can look at it is that we're going to take away 2 stamps from Sierra. We're going to give them to Louisa. And after that's done, Sierra has one more. We can't set those 2 sides equal to each other. We have to add one more to Louisa's side. And now we can set them equal. So S minus 2 is equal to L plus 3. We could solve for S or for L. If I add 2 to both sides, I get that not only do Louisa and Sierra add up to be 19, but Sierra's amount has to be 5 more than Louisa's amount in order to work. So we can either guess and check at that point, or we can turn around and plug that into the original equation, replacing S with L plus 5. We get 2L plus 5 is 19, 2L is 14, and so L is equal to 7. But we're asked for what is Sierra's amount, and we saw above that Sierra has to be 5 more than Louisa, and so Sierra has to be 12. Alright, so there's an algebraic method and a couple of different guess and check methods.